Hey guys, what's up? Stephen here, and we're back to another Roblox tutorial. And in this tutorial, we're gonna teach you on how you can make a trails for your game. So trails is, how would I say that? More common to like follow the player around, something along those lines. Wherein, let's say you put it on an NPC and this yellow trails is trying to follow the player around, and we're gonna do that in a second. And first of foremost, we're not gonna use any players at the moment, or we could even attach that to a player, but we'll see. um, let's check this out and let me know if you learned something in this video. So first and foremost, how do we get the trail setup? So let's have two parts for now, and then on this part let's add one attachment. So let's add an attachment here and then another one here. So we have two attachment. Let's say this is one and this is two. Now let's add the effect of trails. So in this one, let's add the effect of trail, and from trail let's put the attachment here and the attachment there. So we have kind of two attachment, and let's put in a color of, let's see, yellow. Oops. And for the texture is, let's just try to get this texture, and then did you notice that? So it's gonna go something like that, and that's actually how the trails go. Because let's say this is the player and this is the other part. So what's gonna happen is, if we code it so that it follows the player around and players go somewhere going around that or going along those, it follows the trail in a second. So if you notice that there's kind of some delay, and that's how we would edit stuff. So we're gonna check on the effects of trails, and then adjust it. So let's say the transparency would be zero point 0.1 because we want to see it, and let's say the texture length would be 5, so it's stretched much further. So light emission is zero point 0.5, and let's make this a little bit of neon. And then light influence, let's just make this zero point 0.5, and brightness, let's just take it to 10. So stretch is what we want. We're gonna test the other ones later, but stretch is mostly so that we can see the texture. So first, let's test this out. So if you notice, the colors change, and there's multiple circles of our spawn location, but it's still having that delay. So that delay is what we would call our lifetime. So if I set this to 0, sorry, can't set that to 0, you will notice that I don't really have that effect. But if I put this a bit more longer, it's gonna have that effect for quite some time. And before it goes in, it's gonna follow it out there. So that's how the trails would work. So let's say the player is going around like that. That's the time that the movement would be going up there. So if these two are following the player, it's gonna go something like that, and then it's gonna go in something like a, not really a dragon, but it's following the player around. So where's that trail? So one other thing that we can do is Similarly, this attachment, we can move it here and then put the attachment, let's say, put it right here, and then the other second attachment is somewhere like here. So we could still achieve that, but a little more, not how we used to have it on certain parts. Like if I have it on the attachment, you see that it's much wider. Like I'm getting a much bigger texture when I have the texture around. So that's how it would work. So if you want a lighter attachment or a lighter texture, just put it on the part and have the attachment not, how would I say, not apart from each other. I could preferably, I could put it on a different or a much longer part, but that would defeat the purpose because trails are usually in a player and in a part. So the most you could do is have an attachment following him around if you want a much more larger texture on your trails. And another thing is you can actually put some max length here, wherein if I put in the max length of, oops, of 1, I don't seem to see it because I think 1 is the size of that. So let's see on 5, not 5, let's say it's 10. So you would see that I can see it told like that. This means that is the actual max length of my trail before it produced the lifetime. So max length first and then the lifetime comes after. So let's say if I put this on 100, I don't get that lifetime, or I don't get that, how would I say that lifetime effect wherein the faster I go, the 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 how would I say that the texture still stays the faster I go, something like this. So if you want something zooming around, don't put any max length. But if you want to keep it simple and just really have a trail, put in max length. And of course, the lifetime would be how long it would stay like that. So yeah, I hope you learned something in this video about trails and catch you on another video.